Hello everyone, welcome back to another session of AWS Mastery course. And in this particular session, we are going to learn about the different security practices, and we are going to understand like what kind of strategies we should use to secure our services, or we can say so that we can secure our resources as well. We can secure our projects as well. Okay, so now let's start this session. So in this session, we are learning about the security best practices. Like we can, like it is going to be the just the overview of security practices or security strategies we are having. So first, like importance of security best practices. So we are having protection, compliance, and reputation. Okay. So when we talk about the protection, it is something like we should always safeguard our data, our systems and networks from the threat. And when we talk about the compliances, so whatever the compliance like meet regulatory requirement and industry standard. So like in each and every standard, there are some protocols like how to save the data, how to secure the data. Okay, in banking there is a different ways, and in like software industry, data compliances, or I can say safety compliances are different. Okay, and reputation. So whenever you're having, you're dealing with your customers, so or your partners or your users, so always try to maintain the trust with them, so that they can actually trust on you, and this is how you can actually implement the best security practice. Now there are few key strategies which are really important. So when it's come to the network security part, like always use firewalls. I have already told you, showed you the practical demonstration of web, okay, which is web application firewall. Always use VPNs, like virtual private networks. You can use intrusion detection systems, okay, in order to secure your network. Okay, then the data protection. So always try to encrypt the sensitive information, and also or try to implement the access control of services, okay, of different users. Then we are having identity and access management. Okay, so always manage user permissions and authentications. Okay, so if you are having multiple users, so always try to give different permission to different users or whatever they are looking for. Okay, don't give all the permission to a particular user in a very careless manner. Okay, always try to give the permission to those users, those who are authentic and they really need to use those services. Okay, then we are having incident response. So develop and test an incident response plan. Mean you should have the incident response plans, like if you will be having any kind of threat or any hack into your organization, so you should be having incident response plan, and you should test or kind of mock drills where there will be any incident, you can just respond to that in a particular manner. Okay, so now implementing security best practices, like how we can do that. So regular updates and patching. So whatever the softwares you are using, always keep your system and software regularly update, and whatever the security patches are coming, or I can say security updates are coming, just try to install those updates. Then we are having strong authentication. So I have already told you about the multi-factor authentication. Just try to use that, and also try to create the strong password. Okay, then we are having least privilege principle. Okay, so grant minimal access necessary for users and system. Okay, and then we are having regular backups. So always ensure that whatever the data you are having, you are also having the backup of that particular data. Okay, and you should always test your recovery process, so that whenever there is any kind of disaster or any kind of threat to your data, so that you will be having a backup, and you can, what I can say, you can recover your data in a very fruitful manner. Okay, so these are the security practices you should focus upon. Then monitoring and updating security measures. Then we are having continuous monitoring. So we are having lots of tools by which we can monitor the services, monitor the threats we are having. Then we are having regular audits. So always try to perform the security audits regularly, and try to identify the vulnerabilities, and try to patch those vulnerability or fix those vulnerabilities. Okay, adapt and update. So regularly review and update security policies, and try to review the policies, like whatever the kind of things you are using when it's come to the security part. Okay, and always try to update these security policies. Okay, whenever you find anything missing, just try to update those policies as soon as possible. Always try to review the procedure based on the new threats and vulnerabilities. So if you are finding any vulnerability in your system, and if you are having any idea, like in future, like if I'm implementing this particular service and you'll be having the particular vulnerability, so you can just review, or I can say process, like procedure, like how you can deal with that vulnerability. You should know like these services when it's come to the cloud security part, or cloud based security strategies and practices. Okay, so I hope you guys have understood like what are the cloud security practices we are having, and what are the strategies we are having. So these are the very important strategies, and whenever you'll go for the interview, and whenever you'll go for the certification, so there are very high chances that you are going to get lots of questions related to AWS security, or we can say cloud security very specifically. Okay, so I hope you guys have understood about the different security practices, and what are the strategies should be there in order to secure our resources and our projects. Okay, so that's it for now. Let's meet in the next session. Thank you so much.